on board with Justin Allgaier. That's Paul Menard. That is for position on the racetrack. Menard's fourth. Allgaier wants it. They're still going to be side by side heading down into 3. Here comes Kyle Busch. Look out. He backs off a little bit, gives him some space, and Menard on the high side still going around. John West Townley, this is another good run for him, Jamie.
Well, it certainly is, Marty. What a weekend it's been for this team. First practice out, he had a spin, hit the wall, went to a backup car. Second practice, the backup car caught on fire. They had a lot of electrical damage. They brought a third car, but they were able to fix this car up. He's out here. He started 14th, guys. He's been running top now for quite a few laps. Way to go, John West Townley, the rookie this year.
And right behind him is the 33 of Kevin Harvick, and 2 cars away is Carl Edwards, and again, of course, the weekend. But so far, everybody has been everybody the needed space, so to speak.
So far. It's 84 laps to go.
Yeah. We haven't gotten down to crunch time yet, literally. Can tell you that Derek Cope has come in. Oh, and on pit road, there was a crash between the 34 of Tony Raines coming out, Derek Cope going in. No serious damage to either car, though, folks. So we'll keep the action right out on the racetrack for you, because there is now the gap. Brad Keselowski by 0.7 of a second over Greg Biffle, and he's back to 3rd. Then 4th is Justin Allgaier, almost another second back. And I want to ask you guys, all of a sudden now we're seeing a couple of cars trying to pull away, and we're seeing the biggest gaps of the day. Why?
Well, you got some cars on different street cars, and he's made some adjustments to his car, and now he's out front. But running second, you see Jason Leffler, and he's got older tires, but he's holding in there pretty well running second.
Yeah, and I think it's probably Carl Edwards, who I think have the 2 next best cars here, got caught back in traffic on those restarts, and so that's giving Brad Keselowski a chance to get out front and get gone.
Justin Allgaier, that is, for the 4th position on the race. You know, you mentioned as we continue to watch that battle, Jason Leffler, as he has got the older tires of everybody in the top 6 positions. Well, Leffler has top 10 finishes in 4 of his last 5 Bristol races. As this battle continues, we're going to step 78 laps to go. Brad Keselowski still out in front. That gives you an idea just how far he is. After this message and a word from our ABC stations. Our aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. Learn how to win $1 million. Just go to directtv.com/NASCAR. We're here at Bristol Motor Speedway under our 8th caution of the day. Well, with 72 laps to go, the race lead's held by Brad Keselowski. Let's go back and show you exactly why we are under this caution. Keep an eye on the 23.
You can see Coleman Presley there trying to make a pass on Mike Bliss, but car pushed up into him. Yeah.
I just wonder if that wall being, just a little bit, taking some of that racing room away from those guys didn't have even contribute to this just a little bit.
He had a great run going, guys. He was running 15th at the time.
That was for position.
You can see the net result of the damage as he nursed it back to pit road. Let's let you also know that during this caution so far, Reed Sorensen in the 32 and John West Townley both pitted and picked up some fresh tires and Sunoco racing fuel as they're ready to go back. And Kenny Wallace, we got to give him some love time, because this is the 3rd time he's gotten a lucky dog.
Man.
There he is. And he stays on the track, and let's see, in 21st position right now. So he keeps working his way closer into the top 20. There's John West Townley right in front of him in 20th position. John West fell back right after we had talked about him. And in front of him is the 32 of Reed Sorensen.
Yeah.
Now here is, go ahead.
Kelly Byers right here. What a job, man, he has done. He got his car torn up really good in that one crash, and they fixed it back, and he's driven himself all the way back up into the 11th spot.
Right. Now, he was 28th back on lap number 149, and right now running 11th. So a good comeback with a car that
you see that left corner right there. I mean, it's caved in pretty good, but they've done a good job of keeping that spoiler up there where it needs to be.
And Scott Lagasse has had an eventful day, all the way back to 30th at one point, and he has now fought his way back to the 12th position. How about Mike Bliss? He's running 13th after being as low as 41st in this field. Then Michael Annett, also an eventful day for him. He had dropped back as far as 38th, currently his 14th on the racetrack. And the 05, and this is a guy we haven't mentioned all day, but boy, you talk about giving some credit to a team that doesn't have a lot of money. Willie Allen, his slow spot of the day was 28th, but right now, Willie running in the 15th position. Right alongside Mike Wallace, who turned 51 back on March 10th, so we'll wish him a belated happy birthday. He let me know that daughter Chrissy's going to be in one of his team cars at Talladega, so we'll see her again. And there you see the 6 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He's had an eventful day, as you can see. Again, a lot of cars have gone 29th, 30th, even as far as 41st. He's come back to 17th. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. It is Brad Keselowski on the high side, Leffler, Biffle, Allgaier, and Edwards. That's your top 5. And again, boy, I'll tell you what, Brad has got himself dialed.
Yeah, and his teammate got a nice break there too by being able to start up on that outside, and he's going to get himself into second.
So Justin, Team Penske running 1-2, third place right now with Jason Leffler. We already documented how well he has run here at Bristol, getting into the top 5. And there's Carl Edwards in 4th, and here comes Kyle trying that low side underneath Greg Biffle.
Yeah, and Carl Edwards got a nice break there by being on the outside too. He was able to pick up a couple of spots. He's got himself in a good position if he can hold off Kyle Busch right here.
Kyle trying to make that low side work, down into 3. Joey Logano just a couple of cars further back, and Scott Wimmer, who is giving that 7 ride its best run of the year so far.
Yeah, we've seen Logano there in the 20 car struggle for most of the day, not being able to make passes, but he's got himself in a position now that anything can happen here with 65 laps to go.
Yeah, Carl Edwards going to do everything he can to try to keep Kyle Busch down on the bottom and make him heat those tires up. And I'm sure that's what these drivers are thinking about when they get in this situation. Even though it looks like that 18 car might be a little bit better, if I can hold him down there just a little bit longer, maybe his tires will heat up and I can get by him.
Brad Daugherty in the beginning of the day during countdown was talking about he thought the trouble area was going to be turn 2. It's starting to get into the shade there, as you can see. Is that going to make that any better or worse?
Well, it could possibly cool that off a little bit more grip. The concrete doesn't change quite as much with the temperature, but it certainly has been an area that we've seen have quite a few things there, but could be better. You see Kyle Busch decide to slide back in behind Carl, and he'll try to make another effort at him without losing any more spots.
And Joey Logano's trying to go underneath the 27 right now.
I'd say right here, Kyle Busch going to try to squeeze up on the outside of the 60 car, kind of swap roles on him. You see now he's going to get just a nose up on the outside of Carl.
On the right side of the screen, the battle for 10th. Kelly Byers is taking the position away from Paul Menard. So despite all the damage, Byers keeps plugging away. Oh, and look at this. Little bump and run. Here comes on the outside Kyle Busch. He nudged Carl just a little, but now Carl's coming back on him. Down the back straightaway, heading into 3.
Yeah, I was really surprised Carl gave him that much room on the outside, knowing that's what Kyle was trying to do. But Kyle got a nice run off of turn 4. Carl tried to slide up in front of him, but Kyle wasn't having any of that.
So this is the best the 18 car has been since early in the race. There's one section there that they didn't run very well, actually slipped back, but he's going forward now.
So move Kyle up into 4th, and he's starting to pull away from the 60 of Carl Edwards. Not missing anything up front. Brad Keselowski and Justin Allgaier are well out in front by over a second to Jason Leffler in 3rd. So this is the best action on the racetrack, as you see Joey Logano and the 27 of Greg Biffle going door to door.
Yeah, this is where Logano's had trouble all day long in trying to make a pass on a car that he's trying to pass for a position down that inside.
2 cars back, you can see Kevin Harvick in this mix as well. We already documented the fact that Harvick has won the most here in series competition 5 times. You know who's second on that list? Morgan Shepherd with 4. And history could be made if Harvick can squeeze his way into the top 5, as he's trying to tie Tommy Houston on that all-time list for top 5 finishes.
He's going to have a chance, I think. He's got a good car. You can see him working out, trying to work on the outside of Scott Wimmer. Scott Wimmer also having a great race.
Yeah, but it hasn't been typical Kevin Harvick. We've seen this team progress, and we expect him to be right up there in the mix of things, and he really hasn't been a factor up in the top 5 for the majority of the day.
Let's let you update on Mike Bliss as he has moved into 11th, getting around Paul Menard. So Menard has dropped 2 positions in about the last 5 or 6 laps. Now let's go back to this side-by-side action for 6th position.
Yeah, no love lost between these two